Where we at? We're everywhere. Fucking idiot. Wow. Perfect. Clapped those cheeks. That's our new thing. We're so happy about it. Okay, guys, welcome back to Each Other's Mothers. Last episode, we were music sluts. This episode, we're mixing it up a little bit. We have Alaina fucking Bamfield with us. Hell yes. So excited. And then we have Carolyn Paul living in the computer yet again. Connor Meade is up north with Bahama John, so she is not with us today. She's no longer with us. We, of course, have Ellen with us doing all the sound checking and all of the pizza eating. We love you. Thank you for making this work. Yes.
I'm still a vegan.
Yes, still a vegan, everybody.
You don't. That's not your business if I ate cheese.
It's none of your fucking business. So,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Carolyn, where are you again? Connecticut still, or where are you at?
I'm in Utica, New York, baby.
Hey.
I don't know what that means either.
I don't know what that means either.
Middle of fucking nowhere, weird industrial town, New York.
What are you doing? What are you doing out there?
I'm just spending the night in a hotel with my sister. She's moving back to Michigan from Rhode Island, and I'm helping her. So we're like 1/3 of the way through the drive and stopped for the night so the baby can sleep.
Nice.
You're a good person.
Yeah. I would have threw the
I'm
baby
like a
out.
very
good
good
holy
person,
shit.
yeah.
There would have been an
Super, like,
abortion a long time
basically
ago. I
Yeah.
am awful. Okay, very quick. I just want to tell everybody who Alaina is if you do not know. She is a stand-up comedian based out of Lansing, Michigan. She is very funny. She is also a podcaster. What's your podcast all about, my friend?
Well, my podcast is called Leave Me Alone because
Hey.
it's the perfect name for a podcast. When somebody asks you what your podcast name is and you say, "Leave me alone." Not a lot of people listen to your podcast.
Right.
But it's basically, I don't know how to explain it. It's a solo podcast. And when I can get people on, I have them on. But I describe it as it's just me speaking pretty matter-of-factly on sometimes heavy topics. So
Yes. We love it. We love to see it.
Hell
Connor and
yeah.
I were guests on it once, and we had a blast. You got some hella awesome equipment, so good for you, friend.
thank you.
And it's a great pod, man. If you're not already listening, you should be. So we're
Don't
happy to
leave
have
her
you.
alone.
Yeah, don't leave her
me
alone. Don't leave her alone. Don't let her be matter of factually. How about that? Well, we're stoked to have you, dude. I mean, how you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing all right. I'm starting to sign up for comedy again, which is
Hey.
it's fun. But it's also scary because it feels like you put in like all the time to like sign up for the mics and shit, and then it could all just be like taken away again. I'm also starting to run. We're trying to get Ellison up and running again.
Yes.
So it's an open mic that I run out of East Lansing. Recently, I've ran it once. Then the pandemic ruined it. But they
Right.
want us back. They have a new location in Rio Town, and
Cool.
apparently there's like some sort of room in the building that has like a stage and stuff, so we could do
Okay.
comedy there. So that's just trying to get that off the ground again because I had 4 shows in 2020 that I had to cancel. So I've got 4 lineups of fucking people that
Okay.
that I should probably
Wow.
try and get on first. So I'm
Yeah.
just stressing about like planning it and just not knowing what the rest of the world is gonna do as far as like shutting down bars and everything.
Shit.
So just stressing.
Yeah,
I've been
that's
fucking
so
stressing
stressful.
and smoking weed. That's it.
Well, and we all, have this in common where we really were bummed about the bar shutting down because we're not at club level yet. I mean, we're
Definitely
on our
not
way.
me. No.
Well, come on now. You're putting in the work, and that's what matters. But yeah, we all have that in common. So there were a couple comics who would like talk shit online, like if you're waiting for the bars to open up for you to do comedy, then blah blah blah. Like not saying that we're not comics, but
yeah.
Oh, you
with
know.
their tone,
You know what
you
they
know,
mean, yeah.
it's just
A
like
little,
fuck
If you don't have the means to do what I'm
Can you
doing,
imagine? Can you imagine working super hard to get to a club level and then shitting on comics who do bars?
No.
Like, what kind of a person?
No, actually.
Right.
I can't.
And clubs are dying anyways, right?
I hope nobody comes to your
Who
show.
knows? Yeah. Fuck you. I hope you get no audience. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, like, you're making a Facebook post about
get
it, so, like, how cool are you?
Right.
Like,
It's
Get on
just
TikTok
ridiculous.
and complain.
Yeah,
Come
fucking
on.
complain on
Facebook?
TikTok. Like
Right.
like a cool kid.
I didn't realize that you were born in a comedy club, you fucking asshole.
Okay,
Just
boomer.
born on
Right.
stage.
Literally.
Okay, boomer.
Oh, we have the perfect candidate to say that the entire episode because you are like, are you Gen Z?
I'm a cusp baby. I was born in
You're-
'96.
You're a cusp baby.
I'm a little cusper, so
How
I
exciting!
recently parted my hair in the middle.
Hey.
Thinking about switching it back though, because I did develop a giant zit right here that will not go away.
Ooh, right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle.
it's-
You're
the-
young enough to pull off the middle part. I tried it the other day. I was like, okay, fine. If this is what we're doing, I'll part it in the middle. No, it's not good. Not a good look.
Shut it
Too
down.
old.
Will shave my head.
Yeah.
That's the next step. I will be shaving
Right.
my fucking
That's the most
head.
Gen Z thing you could do,
That's also true.
is to shave your
Fuck.
head. I've been thinking about cutting my hair short, but I
Oh my God. Millennials invented
Oh,
shaving your
shit.
head. Fuck it. No. Mm-mm.
That's such a millennial thing to say. No, we invented it. It's our
Right,
thing.
I know.
We came up with it first.
Yes, we absolutely did.
Yeah.
Um,
No, but side parts. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but
No,
side
you're
parts.
fine. Go ahead.
Side parts for Gen Z are the like blue eyeshadow of our generation. Like they're gonna look back in like 10 years and be like, "Why the fuck did we do that?"
Yeah.
You know, because everyone's like, middle schoolers are like skipping this
explain
weird
to me,
phase.
though, because I don't understand how though, because it's just hair and there's only like 7 ways to really part it. Like, how can a side part be the blue eyeshadow?
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, there's only several ways to wear your hair and it's gonna come back around again. Why are we talking about this?
You want to know what I'm gonna start
Yes.
doing?
Do you know what I mean?
Zigzag part.
Oh my God.
Do you remember? My mom used to part my hair in a fucking
Throwback.
zigzag.
Yes.
Why?
For funsies. I used to do that shit. I feel like I have done that as an adult one time.
I feel like it'd be
before, too.
cute if you like zigzag parted it and did like a tighter hairstyle, like pulling it down, you know, so it like exposed it. But just leaving it like
Right.
that, I'm like, it looks like a bedhead all the time. Like
Yeah.
I had straight across bangs and a zigzag part.
Right. Fuck. I do want to say that zit is like the clit of your hairline. So
It is.
we're respecting it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
When you
you.
touch it, do you feel a little tingly or?
A little bit. I get like this weird OCD thing where I just want to scratch off the scab so fucking bad, but I don't want to bleed
Do
on your
feel that.
equipment.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm free
We
bleeding.
bleed on
right
it every
now.
day.
I'd say I'm free bleeding right now. So.
Yeah. Just, well, you know where to put the mic. Who needs a pad when you have a mic foam thing?
We've
Whatever
got
these
some
are.
extra ones in here.
Yeah,
You
there
got
you
a diva
go.
cup in there?
The new microphone foam cover is the new Diva Cup. Here we go. Sponsor us. Sponsor us as we keep creating things that need to be sponsored.
Believe it or not.
What
you
I
can
have
take-
is like what I have this week is a really fun stress-induced like sore on the corner of my mouth. You ever
Jesus
get that?
Christ. That
That,
looks
like corner of your
painful.
mouth shit. It's the worst.
I mean, my skin is being very dramatic
It
right now,
is.
but not
It's
to
like,
that
it's
level.
not a zit. It's not anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Uh,
it sucks.
I get it too, but it's just herpes.
hate it.
So
Why don't you go
It's
away?
just herpes.
it's just herpes. Super cash.
Sure.
Super cash.
Sure.
No, but that shit on the
I'm-
corners of your mouth is
I-
terrible though, because it gets worse
Not
every time you
sexually
open it.
adventurous enough to have herpes, unfortunately.
I,
Yes,
I
you're
like-
right. And you forget you haven't talked in a minute, and then you try to talk some shit, and you're like, "Ah!"
Yes. Exactly. Damn. Okay. Well, now that we've covered herpes, we're gonna move
Yeah.
on to No, I do have some questions for you, Alaina, though. I want to learn a little bit more about because I don't think we ever really covered why you started doing stand up.
Okay, interesting. So I wasn't like a kid that was like I wasn't like my whole life going like I want to be a stand-up comedian, you know, or
Right.
anything like that. Like, and like we didn't really have a lot of like comedy in the house, really. Like my dad was super into like the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, and like Larry the Cable Guy was like the extent of it. And then like late night I would stay up and watch like Whose Line Is It Anyway? So like I had a little bit of comedy influence growing up, but like I mean, being
like,
funny was a
not
survival
really.
tactic for sure.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
in my
yeah.
household growing up, like
For
if
sure.
dad's laughing, he's not screaming.
Beating
So
us.
whatever,
I
yeah.
get it.
But basically, I was pretty complacent with life for
Yup.
most of my life. I was straight up just like, yeah, this is whatever. I was in a relationship. I've been dating him for like 4 years, I was like, well, yeah, we'll get married, we'll have kids, like that, and then I'll just work at this insurance job until I fucking die. And then I started listening to, ironically enough, the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, God.
I started listening to the Joe Rogan podcast because my ex was really into it.
Of course he was.
But that's how I started like falling in love with comedians, because I was listening to the interviews that he did with like comedians, and like specifically like I remember one of the episodes he did with Nikki Glazer, and she was just talking about like her first time doing stand up, and I was like, I feel like I could fucking do this. And like I was in I don't know, not so great relationship at the time, and like at the beginning it was like super supportive of it and everything.
Still the same guy, Joe Rogan guy?
It's Joe Rogan guy, yes.
Okay.
And
well, surprise, he didn't support a woman doing anything free or fun.
For real, because he was like, yeah, I think you'd be great at it. You should definitely do it. And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go write for an hour. And then he'd sit over my shoulder while I was like writing, you know, kind of like criticize my shit that I was like. It was just it was clear to me that I couldn't do this and like be in this relationship, which sounds crazy, but I'm like, I ended my relationship of 4.5 years so I could do stand-up comedy unapologetically, pretty much.
I love that for you.
And
good for you.
I mean, we'll see if it works out.
Like, I mean, even if it doesn't, at least you...
Yeah, you're not alone. I mean, I think a lot of people...
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
You made the right choice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there was other issues with the relationship, but you know, that was like the driving force to get me out of it. It was like getting into stand-up comedy, which is also, I think, why I like cling on to it for dear life, because I'm like...
Because it's changed you.
Yeah, it's changed me, and I'm like, I made a pretty big decision based off of this also. So
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Like, so
yeah,
that's kind of how I got started, and then, you know, I don't know. I think 4 months into comedy, I started running into you guys, and here we are. It's been a COVID year. Yeah, which is fucking. I hate it. Like if you were like, how long have you been doing comedy, Alaina? And I was like, a year. Like, I hate that, because it's like I have fucking 6 months of stage time. Like, I don't want to see a year and have people be like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel that. I really do. It's hard. Even for me, I have to be like, see, like going on 3.5 years, but it's not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I will
not
say,
really.
too, I just want to slip it in there real quickly. I know there's a lag.
We're listening to you.
Go ahead. You have the floor.
I know there's a lag. I'm sorry about the lag, because it's totally because I'm virtual. I just want to say about Alaina Bamfield, you are a comedian who I heard about for like 4 months straight. Everybody was like, have you met Alaina? Have you met Alaina? Have you seen her? And I'm like, you friended me on Facebook and we hadn't met yet. So like, I like accepted your friend request and I was like, okay, whatever. Finally saw you on a show for the first time at a comedy rumble, and you fucking killed. I was like, oh, okay, this is why everybody's been asking me if I've seen this person.
Oh,
like,
wow, that's so cool.
You
Thank
came out
you.
like, bam, so strong.
Wow,
And
thank you.
It really
You
is.
came out like Bamfield.
Like Bamfield. I put the Bamf in Bamfield.
That's right.
It really is what you do with your time, because, I mean, I have a lot of years on y'all, but I'm not shit. Because I spent a lot of years being mopey and, like, not asking for stage time, but then being like, why doesn't anybody book me? Like, yeah, I have years of experience, but like, it's not really, because I wasn't putting in the work. But meanwhile, like, Johanna's over here 3 years in, emailing bookers every day for hours. Like, that does make a difference. So
Yeah,
it's not how long you've been doing it. I mean, you got your shows running, you got your podcast going in quarantine. Like, that's all important shit. Like, so.
I mean, I grew up in a house where it was like, if you don't ask, you don't get, you know what I mean? Like, and that it's always been like that for me. So like, that's how it is. I don't know.
And I was getting to a point, like, before the world shut down, where I felt like I had just restarted in comedy. I was feeling good. So, like, I can kind of relate, I guess. Like, I was just getting to the point where I was comfortable asking for stuff, and people were like, yeah, come on out.
Yeah, that's how,
Exactly.
I relate to you so hard on that, because, like, just, like, beforehand, like, God, even now, like, I don't want to ask for shit, because it's not even that I necessarily think I'm undeserving, but I just, like, don't want people to think I don't know my place. You know what I mean? Like, I was, like, applying to Max, like, a month into comedy, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, these people are going to think I'm fucking crazy, you know? I mean, and now I realize that it doesn't matter, but, like, that's
Nothing
how it was.
matters.
Yeah, the moment
long.
moment you learn, like, you're in the middle of nowhere, Michigan, like, it doesn't fucking matter. If you're funny, get on stage. If you have solid jokes, like, if you have new material you want to try out, Like, don't wait for somebody to tell you, hey, it's okay to go on stage now.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to fucking do it. And it took me 7 years to realize that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
What since you are in
Yeah,
this...
and I think there's an easy way too. You put a few months in, and then you go to enough mics, all of a sudden you get enough kind of like, oh, okay, I'm way better than you, and you're getting booked at all the places. Let me go ahead and get in there. Like, I had the same thing where it was like, oh, I'm not seasoned enough yet to do X, Y, and Z mic, and then you go to the mic and you're like, this fucker gets to do this mic? Never mind. We're good.
And also, these bookers probably don't feel like they're anything special either. They're probably struggling with the same insecurities.
I agree with that. I mean, that's how
Maybe,
I feel
yeah.
now that I'm running like now that I'm like trying to like start my own show at like Ellison and stuff like that. I'm like, these other people that I know that I do shows for like have not been doing comedy for that long.
Right.
Like they're very funny. I respect them, but you know, but I'm just like, wow, you know,
Yeah.
like it really is just like putting in the work to do it,
Right.
which is exhausting. But like comedy is very much networking.
It is.
Yeah.
Lots of desk work, my friends.
It's just hard when I'm feeling introverted, but
Yeah,
But it gets it out of me.
If you are a young female, you know, out there who is like really thinking about doing this is like great couple episodes that we are bonus tracks that we're giving you with Alaina and with Asia. Like, just realize you just gotta fucking start doing it. And I shouldn't say just female. Like, if you're a young comic, whatever. Gender isn't real is what Carolyn says. So just start doing it. And then if you really love it and if you really get bit by the bug, just keep doing it. Just
Yeah.
keep fucking showing up.
Because
That's
it's
all
fun,
it is.
even if you're not fucking Whitney Cummings, like you're still having a good time and you have an outlet and like people are forced to listen to you. It's more appealing than you think it might be.
Yeah, absolutely. You say you have like 6 minutes of material, which I think you have a little bit more.
I do
than
have a
that.
little bit more.
You're
I'm
not
being
good. Come
modest,
on now.
but I don't have like if someone was like, get up and do 20 minutes, like I don't know what the fuck I would say. I know I have 20 minutes of material that I have written before.
Right.
I don't know how that 20 minutes would
Yeah.
become a 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just so all around, like all over the place. And I feel like when I first started doing comedy, I wrote a lot of like dirty sex jokes because it's fucking easy. And I was 23 and single for the first time in my young adult life. So I was
Right.
being a slut. Like,
Yeah.
so it's easy to talk about.
Hobby. Yeah.
But like, I like now I just have like especially quarantine has forced me to write more like observational jokes about like the world around me. 'Cause
Right.
I'm not going to the bar and blacking out and fucking
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
And so I just like my like pre-pandemic comedy is so different from the stuff that I've been writing, and I mean, and nothing is old at this point. I'm not that far into comedy. I shouldn't be trashing anything, but like they're just so different that it like it's interesting to look at, but I don't know how it would come together.
Yeah.
I got to work on it.
My question is, what do you find the funny in? Like, are you somebody who thinks that everything is funny? Do you think that certain things are off limits, or?
On stage, I think some things are off limits. In your head, fucking go off. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like what do I find funny? I really like a good like storyteller. Like I like
Okay.
Theo Von. Like I like when someone can tell me like a funny story and like keep me intrigued. Like I'm super into like television and stuff like that, and so I think that's like
Gotcha.
probably why I really like that. But I also really love like super like punchy comics. Like I like Anthony Jeselnik, how he's just like from one to the other. So like I like it all. I find most things funny. I feel like a lot of the times I'm laughing and it's because I think something's funny and no one else has picked up on it at all, and I think that's the best way to be.
For sure. What do you think is off limits on stage?
If you're talking about anything,
pressure.
any sort of like I don't know, joking about sexual assault, unless you're talking about something that happened about you, is insensitive, definitely. Like I feel like as long as you have, if you're taking whatever it is, as long as you're taking your own personal opinion and like drawing from your own experience, like it's fine. But again, I mean, just think about the topic of your setup, and do they deserve to be joked about? Like that's how
Gotcha.
I think about it, you know?
Okay. Well, I know PC Carolyn Paul has something to say about that. So what's your opinion on that? What do you think's off limits, Carolyn Paul?
I don't like to think of it as off limits. I think like Alaina, like for me, it's more so like if I'm gonna hear a joke, like I would rather hear jokes about trans people from trans people.
Definitely.
I would rather hear jokes about sexual assault from survivors of sexual assault. I would rather hear jokes about, I don't know, fucking being a mom from moms. You know, like, I just think, like, let people tell their own jokes, let people tell their own stories. There's just no reason to put that in your set. Again, unless, like Alaina said, you're making on your own opinion or psychology about it. But that doesn't mean that, like, shit's off limits. It just means, like, it's funniest when people talk their own shit about.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, because
And I disagree. Go on.
Right?
well, I have like God, I just fucking blanked. I have like jokes like that I like tell on stage about. Oh, I know where I'm going now. I have jokes about like the whole like the Larry Nassar thing at MSU affected me. So I have like a joke about that. Yeah. And I think that like when it comes to joking about stuff like that, like people are gonna stop if it's not working, because you're taking such a risk by setting up the crowd like that. You're making such an uncomfortable like scenario for everyone there by talking about your sexual assault. And if you don't have a great punchline, you're not coming back from it. You know? So I feel like it's just like risky to do altogether. And so I just don't see like the point in it necessarily, unless like you have like a fleeting punchline that like comes to your head. Like that's what happened with the like gymnastics doctor joke for me.
Right.
It was like I thought of a punchline and worked backwards.
And I know this is going to come off super douchey and I'm going to sound like I've been doing this for a million fucking years, but I think you can come back with it, but you have to keep doing it. In your third year, you're going to be able to come back from a punchline that doesn't fucking work. No, you're going to like go into the crowd. You're going to do some crowd work. You're going to have other punchlines in the back of your pocket, additional tags, da-da-da-da-da. Like where you're at now, of course you're going to crumble when like something doesn't work, especially when it's something that's so, you know, controversial, you know, but I just think with time, I mean, look at the fucking comics that we all follow and idolize, or not even if we don't respect them or whatever, we at least know who they are. No, yeah. And they're talking about some phenomenal shit, in my opinion. I would never cancel Bill Burr is all I'm trying to fucking say.
What is the thing with Bill Burr?
Everyone's trying to fucking cancel him because he's apparently super transphobic.
But nobody's asking you to cancel Bill Burr. Like, who's asking you to cancel Bill Burr?
Well, I'm not going to answer that question.
Like, nobody's going to ask you to cancel Bill Burr. You don't need to cancel Bill Burr, but you also don't need to, like, need you to defend him either. He's fucking Bill Burr. He's going to be fine, right? Like, he can be a legend and be transphobic, right? Don't you think?
Two things can be true at the same time.
That can
absolutely.
Be true, yeah.
But I don't think that, first of all, somebody did ask me to cancel him. This person asked a lot of us to cancel him. I will not be saying this person's name, but I'm just really sick of people not being able to understand what stand-up comedy is and what comedians are supposed to be doing in the world. And I just think that observational comedy is fucking great. And I think a lot of comics get a lot of shit for speaking a little bit of truth just because, again, it's controversial. And yeah, I mean, I stand there. I don't think that I needed to defend Bill Burr. Like, the best thing about Bill Burr is like people say these things about him and try to quote unquote cancel him, but then he does not say anything about what the newspapers and what the people are saying on the internet or whatever. Like, he literally, this whole thing about him was going on for maybe 48 hours or whatever, and he posted something about a car, like a race car, and it was just so fucking funny to me. Like, his wife Nia, like, really finally said to somebody on Twitter, "Shut the fuck up, bitch!" Like,
and that's the thing. Like, why? Like, we shouldn't care more than he does.
No, and then my thing is, like, can they cancel you if you don't go away?
More than he does. If he's posting a picture of a car while he's getting canceled, then we should go get our nails done and fucking, I don't know, take a shit.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but I guess, you know, agree to disagree. That's just my opinion. I don't think that I have to, like, die on this Bill Burr hill. It's more of the fact that I'm irritated with the person who keeps saying statements like, you know, shame on you for not being able to physically attend a Black Lives Matter protest, and you are not a trans ally if you don't put your pronouns in your Instagram bio. You know, like, it just got to a point where people like that are just so irritating to me because a person is trying to tell you what you think and how you feel. And I do not stand for that ever in any situation. So
Yeah, no, that shit is annoying. Like when people are like, if your pronouns are in your bio, then you are not a trans ally. And I'm like, try me.
right.
I am.
Right.
Like, what are you talking? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what you mean. I don't.
I don't put phones on shit.
No.
Weird ones.
Yeah, Carolyn, I'd love to pick your brain about this. Like, do you think that that's a ridiculous statement, or?
I do think that's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. For me, I don't like to tell people which pronouns I like because I like to reserve the right to shame people no matter which pronouns they use, you know? Like, especially when you like a couple of different ones. If you don't tell people, then you can make straight people feel bad whenever you want, which is amazing. And I also think it's like, it's nobody, like, yeah, if you really have a strong opinion that you are, like, gonna flip out if somebody uses the wrong pronouns, then yeah, say it. But for me, like, I'm not really, like, I like they, them pronouns, but I don't flip if people don't use them. So no, I'm not gonna put it in my Instagram bio or let them know. Like, actually, this came up like yesterday because my sister, who is like a cis woman, married to a man, has a kid, she was like, okay, so should I, like, she was trying to send an email or join onto something, and she was like, you know, I do use she pronouns, but I would be fine with they, them. So should I put she, her, they, them on my thing because I would be fine with they, them? It's like, no, that shit's for fucking us. You don't need that. That's not for you. Like, you don't have to have that. Like,
Right.
you don't get
They're
to
not-
have
they're-
that. We get 7 things. Just let that be ours, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it's
I don't
not
know.
like a.
And also, and I don't think that it's your job to, like, fucking put it in your shit. Unless you feel that strongly about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think everyone's taken it a little too far.
Yeah,
And again, who am I to say? But it irks me, and I think that I have the right to discuss the fact that it irks me and that it's fucking annoying. And I think the biggest thing about, like, I guess my rebuttal to you saying we don't need Bill Burr to stand up for him, obviously that's very true. But I'm a big dreamer, and I very much so believe in myself and think maybe one day I could be somebody who gets canceled, or, you know, somebody's talking shit about me on Twitter or whatever the fuck, and I put myself in his position, and then that's when I get defensive because I'm like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to get paid to be somebody who sells out venues and maybe one day in a fucking arena.
That's what I'm saying, Johanna. But he is in his position, and he's posting videos or pictures or whatever of cars, right?
Yeah.
So when and if you do get to that position where you are in his position, I hope you're fucking painting your living room ceiling black and, like, fuck you, who cares, haters? Like, you won't care when you're
No, and
you're at that level. And if you want us to cancel you now, we fucking will, okay?
roll the tapes back. We've got 8 episodes of
I
me
will
saying the N-word. No.
I will say this, like, there are people who don't, like, exist on the internet, and they don't partake in, like, because it's very easy to get sucked down, like, a rabbit hole of, like, TikToks or Facebook statuses or tweets, and it's like,
No, absolutely.
I don't have to be a part of this. I could step back and, like, try to
Yes.
live through my actions. I
Yes.
feel like having to shout to the world how woke I am, that's a very kind of dangerous path to go down.
And an unwoke thing to do,
A
in
little
my
bit.
opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
A little
your
bit.
eyes are closed, bro. What are you saying?
And I will
You
admit,
know?
like, I've been there and I get it, and, like,
You snoozing.
I
Yeah.
I understand, like, being upset in the moment and turning to social media as a way to vent. We're all familiar with my kind of horrible rants I would go on Facebook. Like, not horrible, but, like, looking back, like, even just, like, the stuff I wrote at the beginning of the pandemic, like, just, like, my observations of the world, like, these were all, like, I guess unprocessed thoughts that I threw out there, and, like, a part of it was, I guess, attention seeking, and that's why I had to step away from it. And, like, you don't have to, I tell myself every day I wake up, I'm like, you don't have to play the game. Like, don't get on social media today. Like, just step away from it. Like, try to live through your actions. And, like, I don't know. Like, and the people that come out and see comedy aren't on social media. They're not. They're like, I don't know. Like, one of my coworkers, he's like an older dude in his 40s or 50s. came up to me. He was like so excited to tell me. He's like, "Hey, Alan, I know you like comedy, and I'm going to the comedy castle with my girlfriend for her birthday." And like, he was so excited to tell me that. And like,
Yeah.
this is not a guy who's gonna go on TikTok and like follow a bunch of comedians, but he's showing his support
Yeah.
in another way. And like, those people are out there, and they're not on like TikTok, like, you know. And like, I do stand with like Gen Z kids, and I think they are. I'm very happy that like our generation and the next generation is very like active in social justice, but like I also know like it takes a lot of emotional intelligence to process a lot of heavy thoughts, and it's easy to just kind of turn to like a big blanket statement.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. And these kids don't necessarily have emotional intelligence yet to like recognize that. Takes a lot of shit.
That is absolutely true, because the way that I kind of look at it is like, okay, what was popular when I was younger? You know what I mean? What was popular when I was white eyeliner and like getting high and skipping school was like very in where I'm from and what me and my friends were doing, okay? And good on these kids who like what's in for them is being fucking woke and educated and you know, fighting fucking racism and like all these things. That's so cool that that's what's in right now. I just don't want these kids to take every fucking little thing too seriously and continue to dissect everything, because then they're just ruining the fucking fun in life, in my opinion.
Well, it takes a lot of emotional intelligence.
Exactly. And my biggest fear, just to close out on the whole Bill Burr thing again, is because I will die on this fucking Bill Burr hill.
Dying. We're talking about. We went from Bill Burr to TikTok.
Yeah, right. Which he would hate. I just feel my biggest insecurity, which I don't know. My biggest insecurity is that comedy will die. And I feel like these fucking kids are like just slowly trying to just drown it in some water. And it kills me, because I would hate to get 10 years into my career and then it be like, oh, no one can say whatever they want, or Johanna can't be dirty, or Johanna can't be ignorant, or whatever. Like, I'm just trying to find the funny in all of it, dude, and some of it's gonna really upset some people.
Yeah, they also have a very. I see what you're saying there. Like, their sense of humor is also very obscure. Like, if you spend a lot of time on TikTok, you're like, why is this funny?
Yeah,
a lot of
you know,
the
like
alt
I feel
comedy,
like
a lot of the Adult Swim kind of weird shit. Yeah,
also true.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode got real serious,
I
real
think
fast.
Also, you gotta look at it as like the full arc over time, where like comedy has gotten funnier and funnier for the last, like, I don't know, 6 decades. Like, we're not. This is it, and like, I don't know. I think comedy is not in danger of going away. It's gonna get better and better, and also comedy will get better and better when we don't make people of color and trans people the butt of a joke. Like, I think I understand your point. I really do. I'm not poo-pooing your point at all. Like, I hear what you're saying. We have to all be allowed to be imperfect. We have to all be allowed to be ignorant and all of it. I think that comedy can only get better. I think comedy as an organism doesn't really like rely on us following certain rules and certain like things of like who can say what. Like,
yeah, I just feel like if I'm not making fun of people of color or trans people, then there's nothing to joke about.
That's the only thing that's funny. Yeah.
You're gonna take midget and away from me, and now you're gonna take people of color and trans people? Fuck you.
But I get what you're saying, though. Like, those people aren't on TikTok, and like those people aren't on Twitter. And like Whitney Cummings says this on her podcast all the time, and I'm probably gonna get it wrong when I quote it, but she says like 8% of the population is on Twitter, and of that 8%, 2% of them like generate 80% of the tweets on Twitter. Like, it's
That's
a
a good
very
point.
small amount. Like you see
Yeah.
these things, and it like seems like you know, like. And I'm sure people are trying to cancel Bill Burr, but that's just the example I'm going to use. And it seems like people are trying to cancel Bill Burr, but really it's just like fucking 20,000 fucking 16-year-olds that like think that way. And like,
Right.
because like the thing about it is that like people who love Bill Burr, we still fucking love Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And he, you know, I don't know what Bill Burr did. I'm just talking on my ass. I don't know what Bill Burr said, what happened, but I'm assuming he didn't rape or kill anybody. So
He did not.
It's chill.
Mhm.
And I think that this is kind of a contrarian thought, I guess, but like it kind of like when shit's risky, like I feel like that's when it's fun.
Exactly.
Like when there's something to like if everyone was just chill with like everyone using the N-word and like fucking being transphobic and everything, like I don't know, the edge would be gone.
Yeah, exactly. Look
And
at her.
I don't even joke about stuff
Look
like
at her
that.
1 year in, ladies and gentlemen, and she fucking gets it.
And I think just like, you know in your heart what's okay and what's not okay, and like,
Right.
but I think there is an art of finding a way to punch up and punch down at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like in Detroit, I think fucking Kai Quicks, awesome comic at being able to punch up and punch down at the same time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Shout
know.
out. Okay, well, I'm about to cancel the cancel conversation because it's really bringing me down.
no, we
Carolyn,
And I think the last thing that I would say is just like, if you like, it's okay for people not to like certain jokes, and that doesn't mean that they're canceled or the jokes are off limits. Like,
Yes.
just saying, like, just people being like, I don't like that joke, I think that's a shitty joke, that's not canceling. That's just them not liking that fucking joke, and then they don't consume the media that promote that joke anymore, and then that's it. Like, it doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't have to be that, like, if you don't like something, you're trying to fucking, like, eradicate it from the world. Like, we all know that that's how shit works. If that's how shit works, then, like, I don't know, fucking all colonizers would be dead by now if we were lucky, right? Like, I just think, like, it's okay for people to be like, I don't like that shit. And if more and more people don't like that shit, then that shit won't survive, and there's nothing we can do about that.
Yes, exactly. Like if someone says something you don't like, you're gonna make it to tomorrow, buddy.
yeah.
I get like as long they just said something to you, you're gonna be fine. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just it's already so exhausting to and this is official. This is going to be called the most serious episode ever. It's already so exhausting to try to be a real person that like owns a fucking home and has to like cut the lawn and feed the dogs and blah blah blah, and then try to go out every single night of the week to try to like these jokes out, to try this, to try that. Then on top of that, do the desk work, drive to Grand Rapids, in one fucking day, drive to Indianapolis, and then continue to branch out and branch out and branch out. All the traveling, all the money that gets put into this, for a lot of people to just be like, you can't say that. Or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just like, it's already exhausting to have to try to do the thing, and then you're doing the thing, and you get to a point where you're kind of good at the thing, and then a bunch of people just shit on that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just exhausting to try to prove to somebody that I'm not racist because of
But are
I
they
said
saying
this.
you can't say that thing, or are they saying they just don't like it?
No, you're something
No.
because you said it. You are
Exactly.
something because you said that thing.
You are
Or you
transphobic
insinuated it.
because you said this thing. You are racist because you said this thing.
Or hinted at any
Or
of it.
you're not pansexual or bisexual. You're
Right,
straight because
right.
you said this thing. Or like, my biggest
Right.
thing, I guess I have this is a thing I will be bringing up on Thursday with Jennifer, my therapist, but I think I have a huge thing like with identity because I was born in South America. My first language was Spanish. I'm an immigrant. I'm all these things. My entire family is very different from who I am. I'm an only child. I was raised in America on my own. I speak this almost perfect English. I'm an idiot. We all know that, but you know what I mean? So it's a very, I toss and turn with identity a lot and have my entire life. So I do not like when people tell me who I am or how the fuck I feel, and that's where I want to end this conversation.
I think that's why comedy makes sense for you, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you get to you're in control of it all. In
Oh,
that
yeah.
moment, you can be whatever. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I have I mean, mine's not to the same scale, but I do have a whole identity crisis fucking
Yeah.
thing around it too, and I think that's why I like to do it also, is because I'm like, well, I don't really know what I am, but when I'm up here, I'm this. So
Yeah, absolutely.
like, I don't know.
It's a whole nother world when you're on stage, and it's fucking fantastic, and I miss it.
Yeah, it
I
is.
really do. And no
Yeah.
one, and I'm gonna fight to make sure no one takes.
I
that
mean,
away
and
from you,
fans of the
Johanna.
podcast and others will know that Johanna Medranda, you have like the most unique perspective I have ever heard in comedy, and you're funny every time with it. Like, yeah,
Thanks, man.
I just, even canceled you, we all know that you are like the fucking goat, and you have like such a unique joke set and perspective. Like, you're nobody's you, man. You're here forever. We need you. We love you.
I appreciate that. I'm scared of the stress that is going to go into me hopefully one day getting bigger and bigger and more known and more known. I think maybe I get anxiety about that. Maybe that's where all of this comes from.
Oh yeah, anxiety is thinking about the future. It's like the
Always.
more you think about it, it's
Always.
I do it too.
Not
Yeah.
engage on social media. Do not fucking look at your comments. Post and ghost, as Mark Norman says.
Mark-
Post and ghost.
I do post and ghost, actually.
Post and
I do
ghost.
that
Don't
a
read the
lot.
comments. I used to be like that kid because I didn't want anyone to think I wasn't fucking woke or accepting, and like
Right.
I would kind of go swing the other way and alienate people, and like when instead I should have just been having conversations with people about, hey, be a good person and respect other people. Like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of emotional intelligence.
Dude, if you told me anything, I would listen to you. I don't know. It's like your eyes. It's like there's something behind
she's
your
the best.
eyes
Fuck.
that it's like.
She's the absolute
Okay, you're gonna have a
best.
horrible
Tell
credit
ya.
score.
No, you were like talking to me, and I was
You're
like,
gonna,
"This is the first like actual person I think I've met in a while, like
No.
like physical
No.
person." Like,
I'm 1 year older
Ellen's
than
the
you.
best.
I feel like you're like, but I feel like you're fully present.
No, I'm just
She's the willow tree in Pocahontas. Yeah.
I'm just on meds.
Just
Just a
No,
mood
but hey,
disorder.
speaking of Nikki Glaser, when she was on Whitney Cummings, they
Mm-hmm.
talked about mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and Whitney at one moment goes, "You're just so different. You're just so like calm and focused." And Nikki goes, "Yeah, because I'm finally on the right fucking meds." And it's just so funny. I just chef's kiss, dude. That is so
Amazing.
great.
When you're ready, we're
I
rolling.
can't wait to get
So,
on the right med.
Prozac for me did some wonders.
Yeah.
Took a couple of antidepressant meds, but found my I guess my ride or die. See, I'm
Mm-hmm.
too old. Like I can never pull off saying something like ride or die. Like no.
Ride or die.
It felt good
My
to me.
mother is really my ride or die.
I was
like,
saying you got really Midwestern with that.
I love it. It's like, is Beth Stelling here?
I am trying so hard to like put a foot on that accent. Like just it comes out.
She left.
One that
No,
always
honestly.
gets me is exit.
Exit.
I like say like eggs. It.
Exit. How do you say
EGGS.
milk?
Milk.
With a little bit of an E.
A little bit.
Milk.
And
Yeah.
I say rough instead of a roof. And I say a crick instead of a creek.
Okay, okay.
My
I
phone
got a little
said-
like white. Like I was listening to my dad talk. My dad had a couple beers in him the other night. I was over there. I was listening to him talk, and I was like, "Wow, we really have straight up have a like white trash Midwestern accent."
Oh, yeah.
Like
I love it. I'm
I
here
don't
for
know,
it.
man.
I am
My
so
mom-
here for it.
My mom was like born and raised in Warren, Michigan.
In
That's,
Warren?
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey,
my dad's from Hastings.
I know where my family's from. Okay, I know where we're trash. I may have not grew
Hot
up
shot.
in a trailer park, but we were 5 minutes away from one. Like,
Right.
I know my people.
Yes. Yes.
My dad's from Chicago, though. It's really funny, like, because my grandpa has like this tough Chicago guy accent, you know, eh?
I love a Chicago
And then, like,
accent.
When my dad's around my grandpa, you could tell he's like trying to act as like, hey, you know, I'm from Chicago, you know.
Right,
fucking... that's not really Chicago. I don't.
I thought it was pretty better than mine.
Yeah.
fucking do
Chicago.
It's
Chicago.
Like,
Chicago.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
like the old
Chicago.
man Chicago accent
There you
is
go, that
so
was good.
like weird. You could really hear it in my dad's voice, and it's like he just
I
says
fucking
things
love it.
so weirdly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm trying to bone your dad. That's what I'm
You
trying
can't.
to say.
He's a cutie. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a
Could
cutie,
call
yeah.
My dad a cutie.
I could pretend to like rock and roll for like an afternoon.
Yeah, he's getting into like newer music or like music he thinks is new. Like a Beck song will come on the radio. He's like, "You've heard this Beck guy? Yeah, this guy. I gotta listen to this new stuff." It's like a song from the 90s.
You're like, Beck retired 3 years ago, Dad.
like, you know.
That's amazing.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say like Doja Cat. I was like,
Right.
dope.
Well,
Dope.
his like his idea of new music, like say a couple Super Bowls ago, Cardi B was in a Super Bowl commercial, and then my dad's like, "Yeah, I know who Carly B is. Come on, everybody knows
Carly,
who Carly
yeah.
B is."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, Dad, you obviously know who Cardi B is."
Yes.
Come on, that's Carly B. Everybody knows. Yeah.
Carly B.
That makes me so happy.
The dad translation of Cardi B is Carly B.
The white dad
Yes.
trip.
Yeah.
Sorry for smell, y'all. I'm coming from work.
I came from work too. I like showered in perfume. Like hopefully I smell okay.
Dude,
Smell like
that's me.
Don't. I like had
every
my
day.
legs spread like this, and I was like, you know when you smell it, and you're like,
dude. I like
Who's making soup?
I'm
yeah.
just sitting over here. I got doing my man spread, and then I'm like, Yeah, let's close this shit up. Shut this shit down.
No, I
Let's
cross my
I get it.
legs so much that like when I get up from this position, since my legs have been crossed for like an hour, it's just gonna look like I pissed myself. It happens to me all the time. I do this at open mics and I sit like this in like a little ball because I'm like anxious waiting to go on stage, and then I like open up from it and I'm just fucking sweaty everywhere. I'm like, God damn.
Shit.
Spotlight is on.
Yeah, they're gonna be shining the lights on me.
stain in your crotch. I guess that's a thing.
It's
Piss
crazy.
stain in your crotch.
It's sweat.
It's sweat.
It's sweat, okay?
It is that time of year.
I
was
do
just like-
shart myself more than a 24-year-old woman should,
Hell yeah.
but that I shart my pants
Really
for the
gotta
same reason I
shit.
was molested, and that's because I'm too trusting. No, I straight up, I literally 1 week,
Amazing.
I don't know what it was this 1 week, dude.
1 year in, you're canceled, bitch.
But I sharted through a whole
Congrats.
pack of Calvins. Like one day, like literally this 1 week, I was like, I don't know why this keeps happening
Wait,
to me.
Calvin's.
Like Calvin underwear.
Oh, okay.
Like
you
literally,
sharted through
I
a
was like,
pack?
I sharted in my Calvins. Like I like literally like sharted in like 3 pairs of Calvins 1 week, and I was like, what? I'm like too old
Yeah.
for skin marks
Either
in my
too
Calvins.
old or too young.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Think we talk about shitting enough? Because
No, we didn't.
I really have to take a dump.
I don't know. I guess I have
Go ahead.
a loose asshole. That must be what it is.
I go home, I got a bidet. I've already pooped in your toilet before.
Who gives a shit? Literally.
I know,
Pun
I
intended. Who
do.
gives a shit?
She's giving the shit
yeah.
to your toilet.
I'm begging for it.
I'm gonna. It's like, okay, you know when you feel
Please,
the
may I have
food
another?
kind of going through the stages.
I love that. Yes.
yeah.
It's not like I have to take a shit. It's like, oh, I know I'm going to. I don't know. I can't explain it.
No, I'm picking up what you were putting down. Every podcast I do by myself, I put it in my last podcast description. I'm like, special talents include making an iced coffee last 12 hours and ending every podcast on a depressing note. Like I talked about some fucking
love
true
it.
crime case in my last one. Like the
on,
whole thing
it's
was
good.
fun, and then I was like, I want to talk about something serious.
It's what the people gotta hear. It's what the people gotta hear.
These are these are questions I guess comics should be having. Sense of responsibility. Let's just say somebody does make a joke and it punches down towards a group of people, and then suddenly we've performed in front of audiences who are racist and are transphobic, and like
Right.
it
And
is
our jokes work great. I'm just
uncomfortable.
And
It
that's
is
where I kill,
uncomfortable.
baby.
Like, even like just like specifically the like sit down, you have blue hair thing. Like I don't know
I
why
don't
that
know.
seems
I
like
don't
hacky
even
to me.
remember
not
what
like in the like general sense like
Right.
airplane food like hacky, you know what I mean? But I'm like it's an
Yeah.
overplayed thing in society
Right.
and like memes and shit where people just talk about like, oh, if you have like colorful hair, you must be transgender. Like I don't know.
Spoken like a true Gen Zer over here. Just fucking taking a shit on somebody's joke.
This is a fake.
I
This is
will-
a fake fucking turtleneck.
Oh, that's kind of badass.
It's called a dickie.
That's insane. That's perfect for the summer months. You don't want
This
too many
makes me
layers.
so happy.
No, literally, James was like, "What are you wearing? A fucking turtleneck underneath your hoodie?" And I was like, "It's a dickie, bro. Stop."
It's an ascot. No.
Okay, wait, lift that back up. So it just like goes over your head and sits on your shoulders? It's
Alright,
a
I'll take it
fucking
off. Hold on.
bib.
I'll take it off so
Oh
you can
my
see. This is a shirt
God.
I slept in last night.
Did
wanna-
you make that yourself, or did you buy
I
it?
wanna-
bought it online.
I
was
want to
like,
touch you, but I don't want you to have flashbacks.
That's
I'm
very.
fine. I'll dissociate.
This is so
Wow.
funny to
Isn't
me.
that so fun?
I
Oh
like the
my God,
t-shirt
did you
have
learn about it on
underneath.
TikTok?
It's so no, I didn't. I found it on Amazon, but it's so funny to wear this with no shirt on underneath it because I have no
Yeah?
tits, and so it just like
That's so fucking
so
funny.
funny, but it's cool, and I love it, and I wear it with everything.
It's so versatile.
This is the new Victoria's Secret summer line. This is a bathing suit top, is what this is.
It kind
You don't really trust your tits. Like I had to wear like if I don't like I tried to wear this underneath like just a regular like t-shirt.
Yeah.
And it kept like, because I don't have any tits, it kept like bunching up like this, like underneath the t-shirt. It would just be like a bulb, and then you can just see my nipples
like-
underneath it. So I had
You
to
finally
wear,
have a boob.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had to wear. I literally, this is the funniest thing when I wear this with a t-shirt because I put a sports bra on over the like dicky thing, and so it's just like sticking out from all these places. But I look fly as hell.
Oh my God, I need to
Right.
see that contraption whenever that fuck
fashion.
that happens.
I'll
Oh,
I was in an improv scene, and of course a man stepped in.
but of course.
Well, I'll maybe we'll save it for the pod. But if we're done with the talk, like we're done. But it was just like a dumb story about how like I was doing an improv scene with somebody, and then a
Your
man
face.
on stage in the scene called me a whore, called my character a whore. I was cool with it. I thought we
Right.
were having a good scene.
Yeah,
and
your
then-
character loved it.
And then I hit him back with like, we're in a Taco Bell lobby. You have to watch, like, you know, like I
Yeah.
tried making it funny. But then a dude came on and was like, you shouldn't call a woman a whore. Don't do that on stage ever again. And I'm like, I was fine with it. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The overcorrecting, I think.
No, yeah, it's hard. It's like if I'm fully capable and I will say something if I feel it's necessary.
But this
You know what I
guy,
mean?
Absolutely.
This guy-
Absolutely.
And if I feel like someone's joking with me, then that's what it is, because that's what I thought
Right.
it was.
I was fine
Yeah.
with
I don't know.
calling me
Right.
a whore, but he said it in a very funny way. He was like, "You whore," you know, like you could tell he was
Whore.
joking.
Yeah.
If he just wants to do all the scene like, "You whore, you bitch, I guess that would be a problem because you're not being funny. You're just using.
You're also
words
not
that-
giving
just
anyone
edgy.
anywhere to go with it.
And those people do exist, like
Yeah.
in improv. Okay.
Personally, I love to be called a horse, so I don't
Me
understand.
too.
I don't understand.
Oh, you
I don't
notice?
see the problem here.
But I
right.
was upset that a
I'm
man.
working
it?
so hard on my reputation.
I was upset that a man decided for me that I was upset that I got called a whore. 'Cause I
Yeah.
was not upset. I was
Gotcha.
upset he ended the scene.
Yeah.
Whatever. Improv talk. Y'all don't
Yeah.
understand.
He was trying to get laid, is what he was doing.
Y'all don't pay $300.
Yeah, he
to
thought he
do
was gonna
comedy.
save you. He was like swooping in with a cape. He thought he was gonna like
Right.
get some probably.
Yeah.
Captain, get some pussy.
On this episode of Will Carolyn Ever Find Wi-Fi? Back to you, Carolyn. She's talking.
We're ready for the weather
I
in
just
Utica.
went to like my service before when it was really bad, and now I just went to the library to get better.
It's worse.
Oh, Utica.
You're the MVM right now, the most valuable mother. Really fucking pull it through for your children.
Bro, coined the term MVM. Fuck yes. Ooh, that should be like a segment that I do weekly. Like the
Yeah.
MVM of the week is
Yeah.
for this reason.
Perfect.
So-
Hey Caroline, if you can hear this, I want to say goodbye to you. And I hope you make it home safe from Utica.
Drive safe.
With that sweet baby. Goodbye.
That sweet puss. She actually left. Carolyn Paul, ladies and gentlemen. That was Chuff Schmitz. That was they them.
That was them.
That was them. They did it. Very proud. Just such a ridiculous episode. We were just like angry at first, and then we're having fun, and then we like kind of saw your boobs, and that was really exciting. So,
Kind of. I mean, that's pretty much
thank
like
you.
that is what my boobs look like.
That's the extent.
And it
pretty
only
much.
took 3 White Claws. That's it.
That's
I didn't even
it.
drink any of
I know.
them. You guys got drunk and I showed you my boobs.
And that's how Alaina rolls.
Sounds like a frat party when I was in high school.
Yes. Where are you from?
I'm from Williamston, so I'm from like 30 minutes east of Lansing. So I'm pretty much from Lansing.
It's a cute
Gotcha.
little town. They got a
It's-
cool theater up there.
Yeah, it's a cute little town. It's we had a whole fucking town-wide protest where we overthrew the school board for introducing I don't want to call it gender fluid bathrooms, or you can use your bathroom that you choose to use. And so the entire community came together and said fuck no, and shut that shit down, got people taken off of the school board. And I was there like, I literally was like, Dad,
stop going after Bill Burr and start going after those fucking
Not
people.
a cute town, I guess. Not a
it's
cute
like
town.
it's like cute. It's visually pleasing. It's a cute town when you're like driving through it. But I'm just like, but I was also like, Dad, my dad literally was like, you don't even have kids in school. Why are you voting on this?
So fucking
so
stupid.
fucking crazy.
Everyone just
but,
needs
like,
to mind their own
that's-
goddamn business.
That's what I was raised in. So I think I turned out all right.
You turned out great.
I definitely could have went a different direction.
Yeah.
And I'm not even
you
saying
could have
like
had no sense of humor.
I could have had none at all, and it
Yeah.
would have been
You'd be
unfortunate.
laughing at Jeff Dunham.
Seriously. Oh my God! No
God.
wonder you were dating somebody who loved Joe Rogan. Holy shit! Oh
my God,
So is
yes.
it farmland?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's pretty much just I mean, like inside we have like one stoplight in town, and it's just like
Gotcha.
it's just like businesses in town,
Classic.
like covered by like surrounded by suburbs, and then I live like outside of the suburbs, like in the rural area. So I almost live in Weberville, like my parents do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like it was fucking dope to grow up with though. Like it was so
Yeah.
fucking dope to grow up with like just that much land that you could just run around on.
You
and
probably had a lot of fun.
I had
yeah.
a fucking hell of a time being outside. I appreciate that, but now I'm like, I want to go to New York.
Yeah, just you and that bib.
Yeah,
Outside.
me and this bib
Just
outside.
you and that fucking bib. Jesus Christ. I would love
My
to
diva
see that
cups out for
sunburn.
change.
Yes.
Spare change.
Hanging out by the one stoplight.
But yeah, no. So I come from a quirky little fucking.
The one red light district, if you will.
yeah. No,
That's
we had a trailer
amazing.
park. We had a trailer park too. That was
Well,
was
of course
like
you
one
do.
stoplight and a trailer
Your
park.
entire town was a trailer park. Let's be
Just
honest.
about.
Yeah.
Just about.
Very cool. It
very
does
cool.
breed. So it's funny to me that the whole like country girl goes city or whatever tale is very true. I have two best friends who are from Beaverton, Michigan, which
Mhm.
is the same scenario. Literally one stop sign or one
Yeah,
what is it called?
stoplight.
Stoplight. Thank you. Just heard it 5 seconds ago.
Not English isn't your first language.
You are
Continue.
right. Thank you. But yeah, and they are so fucking cool. Like they are so fun. They are hilarious. They're both super progressive, which I think is very funny that it's always one or two people who come out of these towns that are like, fuck this place.
Yeah, I think it's
and-
just growing up with some sense of self-awareness and or just like awareness
Yeah.
in general and just like not taking everything your parents say and like fucking
Not
living by
idolizing
it.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you think it like kind of clicked for you that there was like a whole other world out there?
I was probably I'm not like happy with how late it took me to like it's
When-
not
when
like I was
WAP
like
came out?
it's not like I was like a super like I don't think I wouldn't call myself controversial, but like when I was a fucking sophomore in high school, you can go back. You can find a hashtag All Lives Matter on my fucking Facebook. You can find it.
Holy
You can find it from when I was 16. You know what I mean? Like
shit. That's
it's just like
crazy.
shit like that. But it's like things
Yeah.
fucking just change, and like I like you know what I mean? Like so it's
Yeah.
just like it just started like clicking for me as the world just started happening, as I just started seeing things that I didn't like it like you know like
yeah.
just normal like what I just think it's normal. You know what
Right.
I mean? The way I have it from
Turns
like I'm like
out it's pretty easy to tell the right from wrong.
yeah, and it's just I'm
Yeah.
also just like I feel like, and I said this on the podcast with you guys where I'm not fucking set on anything, dude. Like if someone presents information to me that makes sense and is like factual, then like I'll change my mind. I don't fucking care. I
Yeah.
love saying I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's
it
awesome.
feels good. I was
Yeah.
wrong. I fucked up. I was
Yeah.
wrong. And I was pretty like woke by the time I like actually started like doing like by the time like the all lives matter shit. It wasn't like I was like all lives matter now sounds like you hate black people,
Yeah.
but back then I was just going off of some weird fucking Republican propaganda that was just my fucking household that I grew up in. I was
Mommy
16.
grew up in like an all-white suburb, kind of like me, like same thing. Not
Yeah.
necessarily malicious, but just unaware of how deep things really are.
Yeah. And I think it was like, God, I mean, I remember like, and like my parents are like good people too. It doesn't sound like it, but like, I remember like the Trayvon Martin stuff happening and like, just like my parents being livid and like, you know, just like, and also seeing like them care, like just, I don't know. It's weird to look back on being now in 2021. It's weird to look back on my childhood and just like the way I grew up and just like the way like things were presented to me, and just now to be like, well, I don't think that at all anymore. And like
Yeah.
it's kind of refreshing, and like
Very cool.
I could be afraid of it, or I could just be like, yeah, I said that because I was 16 years old, and I don't think anyone should be
Right.
canceled for anything they said when they were a minor. Like that's the other thing I'm
Right.
interested to see, like what happens to all these like young people that become famous, because like you've been on the internet posting stupid shit for your entire fucking life. Like there's no way there's not going to be something on there that someone's not going to like
exactly.
and I don't think like, and that's why I worry about posting podcasts. I'm like, there's no way everyone's gonna like everything I'm saying, but like most of it's a joke, and like like you know, like I don't know.
And that's the most frustrating part. It's like you're gonna look at a comedian and say, oh, I can't believe they said that. Or like we we definitely touched base on this earlier. You're going to look at somebody and say, oh, they said this thing, so now they are this thing. That's just so unfair. It's literally a comedian's job to make a joke out of whatever is happening, current events, whatever. Are they up there saying, I hate N-words, or I hate transphobic people, or, like, for an example, our fucking president, who was like, China flu, Asians this, Asians that, and then look what happened, you know what I mean? Yeah. That is completely different. What comics like Bill Burr are doing, they're making jokes about their observation about something. It's not like they're like, I don't know. It's not like he's up there saying, go fucking kill a trans person or go do this, go do that. It's just like, we all kind of wonder about, changing your gender. We all kind of are curious about, like, what it's like to get these surgeries or da-da-da. And it's an uncomfortable thing. And when people are uncomfortable, they tend to laugh or, like, giggle or whatever the fuck to make it lighter. So...
No, I definitely agree with you on that. And I think, like, if correct me if I'm wrong, or, like, if you don't agree with this, and, like, obviously I don't think being transgender is a new thing, but it's definitely a new thing to be, like, normalized. Yeah. And so, like, I feel like, obviously, I mean, I would never joke about trans people, but, like, there's going to be a lot of mistakes when you're figuring out how to joke about trans people, because guess what? Trans people are funny, and that's because they're people. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just comes down to that, where it's, like, if you did something funny, I wouldn't be like, I don't want people to think I'm a racist because Johanna's Latino and I'm white. Right. Not, like, yes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah. So I agree with you on the Bill Burr stuff 100%, where it's just like,
cause I think there's actually a SpongeBob episode about this.
Is there?
Really?
Come on, you grew up on SpongeBob.
I did, but
I don't remember all the episodes
I'll send
either.
It to you. Well, the one where he's making jokes about, he's actually literally doing stand-up comedy. And then the only jokes that are working are him making fun of squirrels, and then
and then Sandy loses her shit in the crowd.
But then she tries to respectfully talk to him and say these jokes are kind of hurtful, blah, blah, and but then it gets to the point where she has to make a big public statement, and then the episode ends with him just kind of getting back on stage, and then kind of roasting everybody in the crowd. Like, I don't know, like. Maybe worth a rewatch. SpongeBob.
Yeah. We should sit down and rewatch it.
Sure.
We should.
That episode.
I'll send it to you. It's on Amazon Prime. But
see what I learn.
I do think about that episode a lot. I do.
I'm gonna be like, that Sandy is ruining comedy. Fuck that fucking squirrel.
But then the joke.
An inside joke.
The episode did end with him. He's on stage. Everyone in the audience is like, tell the squirrel jokes, and like. He does do the squirrel joke, but then he winks at Sandy and then just starts coming after everybody else in the crowd, crabs and fish and I don't know. Not Krabs the STD, but the character literally named Krabs. Mr. Krabs. But.
Also known as Hispanics and Jews.
Well, Mr. Krabs lives in Bikini Bottom, so what is he?
I could be very wrong. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. No, it's just a matter of literally the fact that the speech is free and you cannot like someone says, but you can't tell someone that they can't say anything. If someone wanted to get on stage and just started saying shit that no one liked, you could call the police, but they'd be like, what, did he say something to you? You know what I mean? So it's just at the end of the day, it's just fucking focus on yourself. Don't say anything that you wouldn't want to hear out of someone else's mouth, and then just continue on, Help when you can. But I just think there's such an emphasis put on it that it's tiring people out, and it's really fucking making it. They are being counterproductive.
True, and I don't know.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be on TikTok. Just post and ghost. Don't play the game.
Post and ghost.
Post and ghost.
Yeah.
Don't put all your worth on social media. I think that's a big thing our generation.
Put all your worth on OnlyFans.
That's right. You can make some money.
Where you can make some fucking money.
Also, come and ghost. Do that. Have an orgasm and just leave. Yep.
Don't wait for him to finish.
Jizz on things. Get the fuck out of there. That's my advice. I don't know. I'm just so exhausted from this fucking conversation.
Well, do you feel any better? Do you feel like there's still some unanswered questions?
I mean, I'm not going to feel better until, I guess I'll put in perspective of the person who said, I can't wait for Bill Burr and all the other transphobic people to die, you know?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I can't wait for you and all your fucking woke-ass friends to die. How does that feel? How does that make you feel if you're listening? You know what I mean? How is that supposed to make anyone feel? That's fucked up. Because I like to have a drink and have a laugh and have a good time. I should die? That's fucking crazy. I don't know.
Just a lot of emotional intelligence and maybe realizing, like, I understand when it comes from perspectives of, like, black folks and trans folks when they're like, hey, I'm done explaining my existence. Like, I'm not here to educate. But I think, like, with a lot of these social justice spaces online are pretty much dominated by, like, very privileged, white, college-educated, parents were able to pay for college kids. And I think that there's a lot of this anxiety of, like, I gotta prove that I'm woke, I gotta prove that I'm a good person, like, because that anxiety's real for a lot of these woke white kids. I once was one. I get it. It's a lot of self-projection.
Yeah, I can't imagine going viral on TikTok and then having to keep up a persona.
Well, I think, like, there is a lot of heart behind their posts, and they do legitimately care about other people, and it's got to be frustrating. Like, there comes a certain age where you do start to realize, like, how heavy a lot of shit is in the world. Racism is not over. Misogyny's not over. Transphobia's not over. Like, and there's just, like, a fire and an anger, and you're just, like, you don't know how to emotionally process things, and, like, I don't know, but, like, I've gotten into a lot of fights online, and it hasn't changed anybody's minds.
No.
If anything, they would just call me, like, well, you're an uneducated grocery store worker. Go fuck yourself. You're not smart enough to do anything. Don't tell me what to do. Leave Eminem alone. Like, we're getting back to that conversation. But
Right.
it just pisses people off. It just kind of, like, it's not going to educate anybody at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, they are just kind of screaming into their own chamber of people who think like them.
Yeah.
So.
I suppose my advice is, if you don't like what a comedian jokes about, don't watch their stuff. Don't support them. Don't follow them on social media. Don't buy their albums. Don't stream their shit.
Yeah, continue not doing that stuff because you're not doing it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're not doing it anyway, but I mean, you kind of are, though. If you are going to take the time to create a TikTok that shows, I think, probably 6 different clips, maybe
I guess that is
more.
true. Like, you're going out of your way to find these things that make you mad.
It takes a really long time to make a TikTok and to edit a TikTok.
And
Trust
you're
me.
probably sitting there watching the clips over and over again. So no wonder why you're getting upset or you're getting mad, because maybe there are some legitimate things that do kind of hurt. But
hey, Gen Z, go outside.
I don't know.
You know,
the world is full. There's a virus in the air. But
I mean,
get off the computer
I'm not
for a
saying
bit.
go outside and then go back into a restaurant. I'm saying go the fuck outside. Go walk in a field, you know? Go skip a fucking rock. Do you know what a rock is?
But, I mean,
Have you ever seen a rock? Do you know what sand is? Or, you know, maybe the open road? Shit.
Go play in it.
I will say, as I go into
Get a
the
motorcycle.
later,
Yeah, go play in it.
as I'm going into the later half of my 20s, like, I don't know. It just took a lot of growing up to realize, like, shouting on the internet isn't going to actually change anything.
Yeah, no, it's literally
For
a
sure.
void. It's a
For
void.
sure. It is definitely a void. Anyway, couple more questions for you before we wrap it up. Where do you kind of want this podcast to go? I know you just hit, 1 year doing it?
1 year, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get a video portion up. I'll talk about this here because it's
safe
not my
space.
podcast. So the guy that's offering me, studio space won't hear it. But this man who was
That was
hit me
Alaina
up.
choking on his dick.
I'm hoping I'm not gonna have to, but but no, he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I bought this space in Old Town Lansing. I'm renovating it. I'm like completely gutting it, but the upstairs rooms are done, and I want to turn them into podcast spaces. I've been like listening to your podcast, and like I wanted to reach out to you because at one of my episodes I talked about like making a set in my house, and he was like, well, I would like build one for you. So like I was just hitting you up to tell you like if you wanted to hold off or whatever. But now he just keeps sending me like all these messages about like how it's like not working out, like it's backed up because of this, that, and the other, and you know it's just like kind of like all this stuff, and I'm just like, damn, I think I'm just gonna buy shit and do it in my own house instead of waiting for some man that I don't know's podcast space to open up. Like, but it sucks because he's a really nice guy, so I like feel bad being like, fuck it. But what was he gonna gain out of it? I have 40 people listen to my podcast. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
That's actually pretty good for a local comedian.
thank
40
you.
people.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's a lot.
But
pretty good for a nobody.
but no, short term, getting a YouTube channel, getting that going. Just a social media presence for the podcast, instead of it just being me spamming my fucking main account.
For sure.
Every time I post a podcast, I literally I lose like 4 followers. Every time I post a podcast update, and I'm just like, damn it.
Yeah, fuck
damn
them.
it.
Who cares? You don't need them. Do you want it to continue to just be you talking into a mic, or do you think you'll have like on and off guests? Or...
I'm probably gonna do on and off guests. I like talking to people because talking alone is so fucking hard to keep a conversation
really
going
hard.
with myself.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you've been talking to me this whole time. Like I'm fucking amazed with you. You amaze me. But but no, I do. I like the solo aspect of it because it pushes me, to like just to be interesting on the fly, I guess, or attempt to be. But I like being able to bounce the conversation off of other people. So I'm trying to transition it between like guest solo, and then the solo pod will just kind of be like me popping in to like update about my life because it's a solo podcast. So that's what you're listening to is someone's life.
I like the do solo and then have a guest and then alternate for sure. That'd be really cool.
I just got to get into like bugging people. Like being like, hey, can you go out to Lansing to be on my podcast? Like,
Dude,
it's the same thing as like asking for stage time.
Bug away.
Like,
dude,
can I have a moment?
And you don't know if you don't ask. So.
That is true.
If you don't ask, you don't get. I'm telling you, dude. Seriously. All right. What else, man? Where do you see yourself in like 5 years? You want to go to New York City?
Yeah. So in 5 years, oh God, in 5 years, I'm fucking hopefully featuring.
5 years, hopefully you have a full turtleneck.
Hopefully I'll be like featuring so then I can afford a full turtleneck.
Yes.
No, 5 years from now I'll probably be
By
living.
the way, features cannot afford full turtlenecks, just so you know.
Okay.
They're selling turtlenecks as merch.
Exactly.
That's yes. Another thing, I'd like to have merch for my podcast. Also, I'd like to pick I want it once I hit like. Once I see that like 100 people listen or something, or maybe when I get to 2,000 plays, I want to release some sort of merch and like pick a charity that I like to donate the like proceeds to. What was that?
A dickie.
Oh, I could have Leave Me Alone Dickies, bro.
You're so happy. You
That's
just got
so cool.
happy.
Could you, dude, Leave Me Alone right here?
That's sick.
That'd be so sick.
I would fucking buy it.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. When they drop.
But yeah, I can't remember what the fuck I was talking about before I started talking about my
New York
goddamn
City.
podcast. Oh yes. So hopefully I'll be in New York City or just literally if I'm anywhere but Michigan, I'll be happy. I'd like to live in New York, but thinking about fucking
affording it.
Yeah, I mean I could afford 2 years in New York probably.
Yeah.
And be okay. But if things would have to start happening for me, I'd have to get like a good job out there and stuff for me to stay there.
Sure.
It'd probably be more realistically probably somewhere like Austin or I don't really know. I don't want to move to Texas. In my head, it's always been I'm moving to New York. I'm putting my time in the trenches, and then I'll know when I'm moving to LA because I'll be ready in New York to do that. And so that part of me just still thinks that that's what it's gonna be. But like I have no fucking idea. I was talked about on my most recent podcast about the fact that my podcast has been around for a year, which means I've been sitting in a fucking the same position I've been in for an entire year. Like nothing has changed at all. So it's really hard to fucking tell. But I'm trying to get to New York as soon as it becomes a thing again.
Yeah, for sure. Well, cool. I hope it happens for you.
Thank you.
New York City is a lot of fun. I would be nervous to make that move, to be honest with you. So if you do it, good for you.
Yeah, I am nervous, but the thing about New York is that like I have this weird calming feeling in the city where it's like it feels like the outside matches the inside of my head, and so I'm like everyone's just fucking. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. I don't know. No. I went for a concert. And then in that same year, I went back like 3 times in that summer. I like just had a grand old New York summer. Cool. I could not get enough of it, and that's
hell yeah.
Why I want to move.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep working hard, and you're gonna keep working hard, and then one day I'm gonna have a show in New York, and you're gonna open up for me, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna put that into the universe. How about that?
Hell yeah. Cool. And one day I'm gonna live in New York, and then you guys are gonna be like, "Oh my God, can I come sleep on your couch?" And I'll be like,
very
"Absolutely."
Much so will do that. Yes. I'll be like, I cannot pay you, but I will bring my ramen.
I will be in Ohio somewhere because the tire fell off my car. I don't know. I'll run out of gas. I'll run out of gas because I'm still working at a grocery store.
She's waiting for
Ellen
AAA.
the road dog. Yes.
AAA. Okay.
She's like, oh, you rich.
I'll
you rich,
still be
rich.
like the COVID officer at the grocery store telling people, "Please put your mask up over your nose." Like that'll be me.
Well, if you keep saying it and keep manifesting it, then yes, it will be
Trying not to
you.
manifest more COVID. Sorry.
So, Ellen's gonna be a road dog, and she's not gonna get a fucking flat tire. And if she does, it doesn't matter. You're gonna know how to fucking change it in the rain or in the snow. How about
Without
that?
any tools.
Without any tools, just with
Just
magic.
your
I'll give it a
hands.
try.
Just your hands.
I'll call a man. He'll be
Just with
alright.
your nipples. Hey, a lot of women are becoming mechanics these days.
You just
too.
stick your nipple ring into the fucking
Yeah.
like a fucking
Ow!
Phillips head screwdriver.
Ow, that just made my nipples hurt so bad.
Dude.
And yes, they are all the way down here, so fuck you.
I'm like, they might have never touched each other in their lives.
What do you mean?
My
What?
boob skin right here on the inside
Yeah?
is never. It's never like touched each other.
Get a bra?
There's not enough fat on my. I have my breast size is a 32 AA. I bought
That's
a
a
training.
battery.
I bought a training bra.
It's not a bra, that's a battery.
Yeah. I bought a training bra from fucking Meyer to wear underneath my work clothes, and it gaps on me.
Jesus Christ.
Like I have
friend.
incredibly small boobies.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep working hard, and I'm gonna become a headliner, and I'm gonna buy you some fucking tits, and then you're gonna open up for
See,
me.
the
How
thing
about
is
that?
I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I could probably get tits if I wanted to, right? But like, this only gets funnier the older I get.
It's true.
So it's like, do I hold out on being hot in my 20s for the bit later?
You are hot.
But like
You
being
are
like hot, you know, like oh no, my shirt has come undone.
You can enjoy walking up and down stairs
no
and,
one's
not being in
upset.
pain. You're fine.
That is true.
Right.
My boobs aren't in pain, but I
Listen.
do got
Do you see how hunched over I am?
Holy shit, dude! Oh my god. It's like off camera, but that was
I can do it
crazy.
over here.
Okay. Whoa.
That's just a yoga pose.
Damn, I can't do that
Oh.
shit. Oh my god.
Oh no, I
I'm
got
Kind
freaking
of
no.
disgusting,
out.
and my
It's
feet also don't
beyond
smell
yoga.
great. My bad.
You're good.
I used to put my feet in my pockets on the bus. I used to flip my legs backwards and stick my toes into my pockets.
Okay. Well, if you ever wondered why you were molested, that's why.
Oh no, that gets you first in line at Larry Nassar's office. You do that, and
Yes.
he's like, "Get in here, girl."
Yeah. Well, nice to know you can take a dick. All right.
There
Thanks
was-
for being here, my friend. I love you. You are amazing. You're very, very funny. I can't wait to see what you do in these next couple years in your comedy career. And I really do hope that I see you in New York. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I
Yeah.
see you in New York. If I
Yeah.
move to New York and then no one from Michigan comes to visit me, I'm gonna be like, "You fake fucks."
No, I'm just saying I see you there. Like I envision
Oh, I
you
see
there
what
as if you fucking idiot. I envision Alaina Bamfield in New York City, just
Thank you.
living the life, and with your middle part and your scalp pimple and your no titty having ass. Yeah, it's gonna be great. All right, we have been each other's mothers. I am Johanna Medranda. This is our guest Alaina Bamfield, and that is Ellen. Thank you so much, you guys. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Wow.